Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us for North Dakota Today. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Chris Berg. Thank goodness. Finally to Friday. And the wind is down a little bit. We might have some active or stormy weather, but the temperatures are staying nice. So I'm very happy about that. And we are moving into the Memorial Day weekend, and right off the top, because we have actually a war veteran with us today talking about the importance of Memorial Day, which I think is going to be a great interview. I was visiting with Rick Kuhn yesterday on the phone a little bit. As far as, you know, it's often said, you know, the unofficial kickoff to summer, barbecuing, but sometimes the real meaning of Memorial Day and our war veterans who have, you know, given their lives for us is lost. So we're going to talk today a little bit, kind of bring it back to the importance, talk about our veterans and talk about our country, a little red, white, and blue. So I'm excited about that. Yesterday, I know some of the veterans groups were out putting the flags in Sunset Memorial Gardens in South Fargo, getting ready for Memorial Day, which is always very moving. About a dozen veterans and their families were on hand, placing those flags at the headstones of our servicemen and women. Of course, a gesture to honor our fallen heroes for Memorial Day. And this is Sunset. They're going to have their Memorial Day service on Monday. And I have mentioned this, I know I've talked to you about it a little bit as well. I've been asked this year to speak at a Memorial Day service at Riverside Cemetery at 11 on Monday. And I'm just incredibly honored. First time that I have been asked to do something like this, and it's because my dad is a Vietnam veteran. So I've been working on my speech, and my dad, of course, will be with the Honor Guard doing their salute. So you know, I was wondering if it was going to happen, but I think it is going to happen, the service. So if you feel like going out, that's going to be Monday at 11 a.m. and just social distance.
What are you going to say in your speech?
Well, I can't give it all away, but I am going to talk a little bit about Memorial Day, my dad, how he honors some of his friends who were lost at war. So a couple of stories that he has just shared with me and a couple of names that I'm going to, you know, introduce to people that a lot of people have never heard their stories. So I'm excited to share those stories and, of course, just honor our servicemen and women. And also, we should note on Monday, we're not going to be doing a live show here on North Dakota Today, but a couple months back, we did that incredible show with our, you know, local veterans, my dad, one of them, but a lot of these guys still serving, you know, as they get older, they're now doing the Honor Guard. So we did that full hour show, kind of a tribute and honor to our local veterans who are, you know, making sure that their fellow veterans are still getting their final tributes. So if you haven't watched that show yet, it'll be a really perfect one to watch on Memorial Day as well.
That was a good show.
I know, it was
when did we do that? Was it Veterans Day we did that?
Well, you know, I think it was actually in December, but we did start recording and doing some of the things. You can tell in the video it was very cold.
It's freezing.
So luckily, you know, when we're going to be outside for services on Monday, it should be very nice. And I know that was that video was all at the new National Cemetery just outside of Fargo. So, and I think they're not doing a live service there. The VA doesn't want, they're still practicing some serious social distancing. So they're going to have a virtual service of some sort. So we'll get you more information on that when you can watch if you don't want to go out. But otherwise, all of the cemeteries, you know, Sunset and Riverside, several different ceremonies on Monday. So I hate to break this news to you, Chris, but
can we just skip this?
Mosquitoes are out. I know you're like, what is she going to say? Serious business. You know, temperatures are warming up, but this is, you know, new from the Cass County Vector Control. They've spotted their first mosquito. The agency tweeted out this picture with the caption, "First one." They didn't specify exactly where in the area this one was found, but of course this comes as a reminder if you're going to be outside this weekend, make sure you start putting the bug spray on. I know yesterday my husband, when the girls were like, it's so windy out, and he's like, well, it keeps the bugs off you.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
I don't know. I'm not ready for mosquitoes. I wish we didn't have those, but I'm ready for the warm weather. So I guess it just...
Parks are open now, right, in Fargo?
Yep, Fargo and Moorhead, seeing kids out and about. I'm loving that. So also, people are wondering, you know, big destination for summer, Minnesota Lakes area. Everybody wants to go to the lake. I have a lot of friends who will be there this weekend as well. School is wrapping up, but summer likely won't be quite the same as it has in years past, thanks to COVID-19. Heather Brown this morning has a great summer guide to staying safe.
We all know there's something special about Minnesota summers. The boat rides, the bonfires, the hours and hours and hours of swimming. Many of you have reached out on how we can still do these things, but stay safe.
Let's start with the lake. Can the virus spread in here? Well, one expert I talked with at the U of M said that would be way down on his list of things to worry about. There is no data that the virus is transmitted through food or through water. He says he'd be more careful about staying away from people when you're up on the shore. Then we have mosquitoes. We've talked about this one a couple of times, but it's worth bringing back up because we get this good question almost every day. This one, too, not much to worry about here. The CDC says there is no data to suggest that coronaviruses are spread by mosquitoes or gnats or ticks, for that matter. Swimming pools. The CDC says you should be just fine in there. In a properly maintained pool, chlorine would inactivate any coronaviruses that might be there. But if you're talking about a community pool, then you have to be careful about any of the things that you're touching and all of the people that would be outside of the pool. And finally, cabins. This could be tough for some families. The Minnesota Department of Health is still recommending that people stay close to home. They say if you do decide to go, make sure you and everyone in your family is healthy. They don't want to overwhelm the health systems outside of the metro. And while we can now gather in groups of 10 or smaller, the recommendation is to still social distance outside of your immediate family. So when it comes to campfires or small backyard barbecues, make sure you're still keeping that 6 feet apart.
Some parts of the summer will be different for sure, but the lake will still be there, hopefully with lots of fish. Ice cream will still melt, mosquitoes will still bite, and the sun will still set.
I love the just a little bit of sound of the loons there at the end.
And the pictures with the ice cream and the lakes, I'm like, just take me there now, right?
I am ready for school to be done and ready for summer to start.
I thought you just canceled school, didn't you?
I know. The teacher's
You have the
sick.
executive
No more
power
school.
now.
No more school. We're getting close. We're getting close. And when she talked a little bit about grilling, if you're going to start doing some grilling, we've been grilling for weeks already at the Bedeau House, but Longhorn Steakhouse's Grill Us hotline will be open again this year in case you need a few tips. It's not your traditional phone call, though. Throughout this weekend, Longhorn's team of in-house grilling experts will be responding to guests in need of immediate guidance at the grill. To ask for help, just use hashtag LHGrillUs on Twitter and Instagram as well. Just post your questions and they'll respond that way. So there you go. And also, I want to talk about this, Chris. This is just amazing. We need a few more people to help us out. The virtual food drive, today is the last day. You know, we had to keep upping it because people were so generous helping out. Our goal is $30,000. We are just a few hours away, and when I looked right before the show, we were at $29,000 plus. So we just need a couple $100 more. So if you haven't donated yet, of course, the need is great. We have talked so much here on North Dakota Today about how much the Great Plains Food Bank is, being utilized these days. $29,786. That's the number right now. The goal is $30,000. We would love to hit that $30,000 goal to help out as many of our neighbors as possible. So go to valleynewslive.com, use that VNL News app, and just look for that Please Donate button.
Did you just say you're going to match any donations between now and 10 a.m.? Is that what you're saying, Bedeau?
That would be a great option. Well, go ahead and donate, and we'll see what I can do as well. Okay, I already talked about, we're going to talk to Rick next, coming up here on North Dakota Today. We're sitting down with the commander of the Fargo VFW to talk about the real meaning of Memorial Day.